Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rival Opinions with Ryan, myself, and my good friend here, KJ.
The hell's up?
We're going to give you our insight on the college football landscape from two rival points of view. We got a couple things to talk about, a lot of big games this past week.
A lot of big games, a lot of upsets,
Yeah,
I'd say.
A lot of upsets, a lot of unexpected stuff happening.
A lot of just shitty football playing.
See, first we'll talk about Georgia and Kent State. The Bulldogs actually struggling with Kent State early on.
Early in the game. I mean, just the whole game struggling.
A dogfight in the first half.
And Kent State scored 22 points, which is the highest points scored on Georgia this season.
I think Georgia just got caught looking ahead.
I think they did. I'll be honest, I think so too. I'll agree on that. They didn't take Kent State seriously, and they could have got their asses beat. But
these teams have to realize that no matter who you're playing, if you're playing a Division I team, these are Division I athletes.
Exactly.
They're on scholarship, and if you don't take them serious, they will come out and punch you in the mouth.
Yes, right in the mouth. Right in the mouth, man. That final score was 39-22, which is only a 17-point. I know that it sounds like a lot, but for Georgia playing Kent State,
you gotta love to see it. You gotta love to see it.
Oh yeah, man.
That Will Muschamp defense getting scored on. I love it. Fuck Will Muschamp.
Dude, fuck Georgia.
Nobody likes Georgia.
Yeah, no one likes it.
That's one thing that we can agree on.
If you're a Georgia fan, please get off now, because I hate you.
Nah.
No, just joking. Not really. Okay. Yeah, but overall, it was just I think it was a really shitty game played by Georgia.
I think overall. Kirby Smart would tell you that too.
Yeah, I think any Georgia player would say that. I don't think they were happy with their performance.
I think Georgia is the best team in the country by a lot. I think they are, but they just
struggled. They looked ahead.
They looked unmotivated. They look like they didn't even want to be out there.
Because Georgia, in any other game, they're on top of it constantly.
Look at what they did to Oregon.
Exactly.
Look what they did to South Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That one, yeah. That one.
They have the ability to play well.
Yeah, of course. They just looked ahead. That's all. That's what it was, but you can't do that. That's a big mess up as far as...
Yeah, if they do that against somebody with a little better talent on the team,
they'll get beat.
Depth,
they will get beat. Easy.
You can't do that with even a low-tier SEC team like Missouri. They got to play all.
Even low-tier ACC, dude. You can't do that with any team. You can't do that with any team.
Okay, so what we got next?
So the second topic is going to be MTSU beating Miami, which was a huge upset. It was 45-31, which
beat them in Hard Rock Stadium.
In Hard Rock, dude. That was holy hell.
That's supposed to be one of the best ACC teams. They got the new coach, Mario Cristobal, poached him from Oregon last year. He's back to his alma mater.
I wouldn't even say, look, the way I see it, I wouldn't even say Miami's overrated. It's kind of in the same boat as Georgia, but they got beat. I would think they kind of looked.
I don't know, because if you look at the week before that, they came out and couldn't score against Texas A&M, which got beat by Appalachian State the week before that.
Appalachian State's badass this year, though.
Appalachian State are world beaters. They are.
They're the big. I think they're some of the biggest upsetters in college.
You should
football.
Never schedule App State. Trust me, I learned that a couple years ago when they came into Columbia and beat us.
Yeah, man.
I was there.
Just overall, though, just Miami. I don't know. They got beat at home, which is just weird by MTSU.
That's an embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Miami recovers from it, because Mario Cristobal, he's in his first year. He's trying to get these players to buy in, and this could unravel.
Oh yeah,
he could lose the locker room like that,
dude,
if they do not respond the right way.
Easy, dude. Easy lose the locker room, man. He's got to get on top of his stuff, man.
It'll be interesting to see how they do when they come out next week. If they don't rebound, Miami could
look rough.
Year, and Mario Cristobal could be cut off at the knee before he even really gets started down there.
Honestly, I'm kind of leaning towards Mario go ahead and being kicked off, because that's just upsetting right there.
But I think he can do it. I think he's a good enough coach. Miami is a weird place to have to coach. If you even go back and look, when Mark Richt went down there, he had a couple successful seasons, fell apart, got rid of him. Then they had the whole Manny Diaz dumpster fire.
Dude, Manny Diaz, man.
So Mario Cristobal, I mean, he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
He's got a lot of work. I will say, if you are going to coach Miami, you're gonna have your work cut out for you.
And the thing is, Miami is kind of a similar situation that Shane Beamer walked in at South Carolina, where you're gonna have to rebuild the culture.
Yeah, because they're playing like shit. They weren't coached for shit.
That locker room culture, because of their coaching, was so toxic that you can't go out and succeed on the field whenever you're having that around.
No, you have to rebuild, dude. You have to.
Because I think they have the talent. I think it's more of just coaching the right way and having the right mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Weirdly, I agree with you. All right. The third topic is going to be Ole Miss struggling with Tulsa when they're ranked 16th. 16th, okay?
Yeah. Top 25 team, Ole Miss.
Top 20. I mean, just top 25 overall looks rough. I mean,
this is the craziest year since 2007.
Yeah,
Lots
2007. Yep. I mean, last week was a ride, dude. As far as just top 25 college football, it was a shit show for most teams. Honestly, I can fully say
Ole Miss. You know they're gonna have the offense. They got Lane Kiffin in there.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin. Yep.
The offense is gonna be firing on all cylinders. I mean, they put up 35 points.
Yeah, but their defense let Tulsa score 27.
I mean, Ole Miss has struggled ever since Lane got there with defense.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got to get on top of that defense because letting Tulsa score 27 on you.
The thing is, if you're letting Tulsa score 27, what are you going to do when you play Alabama?
Exactly, dude. You're going to let them score every drive.
What are you going to do when you play Arkansas? What are you going to do? Even when they play Mississippi State, their in-state rival, with Mike Leach and that air raid offense, they're going to throw it all up and down the field.
Yep. Yep. Dude, why are we agreeing so much? This is weird. All right. Fourth topic, we got Kansas State upsets Oklahoma.
They got your boy Brent Venables. Upsetting.
I don't care what anyone says. Brent
His
Venables.
alma mater, too. You know, that's where he played in college.
Yeah, look, I don't care what anyone says. Even though they upset him, Brent Venables is the best defensive coordinator.
He was the best defensive coordinator
football.
in college football. I will agree with that. But that does not necessarily mean he's going to be a good head coach. Look at Will Muschamp. Great defensive coordinator, terrible head coach.
But just like you said, though, just like you literally just said it, Shane Beamer had to deal with it. Miami's coach, you have to rebuild, dude.
But the thing is, he's not walking into a rebuilding situation. He walked into a top 5 program. He just has to sustain it. And the biggest trouble he's going to have is with the quarterback turnover. Lincoln Riley jets off to Southern California. He brings the starting quarterback for Oklahoma, Caleb Williams, with him in the transfer portal. So now they got the new kid, Dylan Gabriel. He looks all right, but they're going to have to adjust quick, bounce back. I think they can still bounce back from this, but that's ugly. So it's
I still say give Venables a year or two more. Oklahoma, I'm telling you,
it's going to be hard for him too because he's going into the Big 12, which is a league that is not known for good defense.
No.
They consistently have some of the worst defenses in college football. Oklahoma's made it to the playoffs and got blown out how many times because they can't play defense.
Yes,
but I think
I'm telling you, give him
successful.
I think he could too.
Be, but he's gonna have. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from this loss because it's his first real major adversity as a head coach.
It's just I don't know. At the same time, though, it's crazy. Adrian Martinez had 241 passing yards.
Yeah, it's
transferring
crazy.
from Nebraska.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how much because he was hyped up at Nebraska. It's crazy to see how toxic that situation when Scott Frost was in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Scott Frost got let go this year anyway, but he was there in Nebraska, struggled. Nebraska could not win a game, but all their games were within one possession. He looked like he was almost there. He just couldn't get over the hump. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how the change in scenery has helped Martinez. Like, he's really shining at Kansas State, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a run at the Big 12. I don't know if they'll win it, but they'll make a run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, we got that out of the way. Let's see. The fifth topic, man.
Oh, yeah.
Carolina versus Charlotte.
We got the South Carolina Gamecocks walking in, stumbling a little early, but ultimately we jumped off the top rope, landed the elbow drop right into the heart of Charlotte.
Dude, I don't know, man. You letting Charlotte even get up on you guys, though, that's got to be a tough look, dude. That's got to be a tough look.
That is 2 words right there. That is Marcus Satterfield. I still think this has been my opinion almost the entire year. I've not been sold on him. Marcus Satterfield needs to be fired. I said he should have been fired before the Charlotte game. I said he should have been fired after the Charlotte game. I don't care that we scored 56 points. We have no offensive identity at all.
No. None, dude. None.
Like, yeah, we went out there and we ran the ball 40 times.
Dude, but it's Charlotte.
But Charlotte has ranked. Their defense is ranked 126th of 126 teams in college football. They're literally the worst defense in college football.
You should have been able to pass on them.
Yeah. And my thing is, even with that great rushing performance, South Carolina is not going to be able to replicate that against anyone
Get up
that's
against
decent.
a good defense. Like you are not going to be able to rush.
Whenever you go back into SEC play up in Lexington, you're not going to be able to replicate it. And we have to be able to find a way to find an offensive identity, have something that we know we want to do. We're going to go out, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times it seems like we're going out there and we're lost on the offensive side of the ball. And our defense, I don't know what's happened. Clayton White, he had a great defensive unit last year. It looked amazing. And it seemed like almost in the first half of the year that Clayton White's been calling a way more conservative defense. But we come out into the second half of the Charlotte game. We're blitzing more. We're stunning more. We're getting a lot more creative in the defensive play calling. And that's when you've seen us shut them down. So I don't know why we haven't been doing more of it. But overall, I think it's a good confidence builder for South Carolina, especially for Marshawn Lloyd, who had a hell of a day. I mean, he had a career game. And that freaking hurdle, did you see that?
Yeah.
He completely verticals over a Charlotte defender.
I don't know, man. My opinion, we're going to have different ones on this one. This is where it gets a little ugly. But, I mean, man, letting Charlotte score 20, even though you scored 56 as Charlotte, man, I don't know. You got to do something.
I don't disagree, and I don't think Shane Beamer would disagree with you either that it was a sloppy game and we should have definitely played better. He even said in his post-game press conference, especially the young players when they got put in, they were playing uninspired. Like, no. It was good to see Luke Doty come in, though, late in the game, get a touchdown. Great to see Corey Rucker get in after his injury at the beginning of the season. First game he got in, he got the nice receiving touchdown. A great freshman from transfer from Arkansas State. I think the kid's got a lot of potential. I don't know. I think it's a great confidence builder for South Carolina, but I don't think any of it's going to be really transferable once you get back into, like, SEC play.
Yeah. All right, and our last topic of this first podcast here at Rival Opinions, we got Clemson versus Wake Forest, which the final score was 51-45 Clemson.
Hell of a game.
Hell of a game, man. I mean, I
don't know. I think I went a little hoarse cheering for Wake Forest.
Dude, overall, DJ on point. Offense overall, Will Shipley, he was running the ball the whole time, running all over Wake Forest defense. DJ passing all over Wake Forest defense. But if I'm being honest, Clemson secondary is shit.
Their secondary sucks.
They're getting passed on. I've been saying this for years, man. Midfield, man. Midfield defense is what we need. We sleep on it. No one's back there. No one.
Yeah, somebody is going to be able to, if you can get a quarterback that can stay in the pocket, they can hold that Clemson defensive line back, and he can throw it over the top of Clemson's linebackers in front of their secondary, right over the middle of the field, you're going to get dotted up, and somebody's going to beat you.
I just don't know. I don't know, man.
Because
look, our defensive line looked good.
The thing is,
I wouldn't say defensive line. I think defensive line looked good. I think our secondary brought the whole defense down as far as the defensive line can only cause so much pressure on a quarterback. But if he gets quick slants. They were running quick slants and getting first downs every play. You thought we could have read it. We could have read that so much sooner, and it wouldn't have even.
I think Clemson's starting to feel losing Brent Venables. They've got that new defensive coordinator that you promoted from within. I said at the time I thought was a mistake. I still believe was a mistake. I don't think he's qualified to call that defense, and I think Clemson's going to realize very quickly, and Dabo will end up canning them within the next year or two.
I say give him the rest of the season. See,
Dabo's too loyal. He'll have at least another year.
The only thing is, though, look.
Think about it. How often does Dabo fire assistants? Even when he had to fire Billy Napier, it took Billy Napier cussing him out on the sideline before he fired him.
Overall, very upset with our secondary. Very upset. That was upsetting to watch. And if our secondary was in line, I think we could have pulled out earlier in the game, way earlier in the game, if we would have got some defensive stops. Because offense, like I said, was on point. DJ was throwing dimes.
But it wasn't just your secondary, though, because Wake Forest was running the ball. They weren't just throwing it. They were running the ball with major success. And it was opening up the passing game, too. And I think anyone with a competent defense that can throw the ball over the top and get a good 4 or 5 yard chunk run every now and then, they've got a real good shot at beating you. How can you refute it? Because
we haven't got beat yet.
You haven't played anyone with a good defense yet.
Okay.
Wake Forest, they had a really high octane. I don't think either of you stopped each other at all the whole game.
No, it was back and forth. Because our offense, dude, our offense was playing on point.
DJ looked good. He was stepping up into the pocket.
Yeah, stepping into the pocket. That's what I've stressed over and over again. Step into the pocket. He's looking comfortable. He's looking because I'll be honest. Confident. Beginning of the season, I was like, put Klubnik in. Put Klubnik in. Let him run. Let him get used to it so he can get good and have a feel by the end of the season.
But can DJ stay consistent?
I think he can.
That's the question, and that's what we'll have to see. That's what will be interesting to watch. Can DJ stay consistent? Because we've seen him have good games.
Yeah.
He's had good games before.
Dude, literally.
But he's never been able to string it together and be consistent.
Literally, his first year he came, I remember Trevor Lawrence was out with Corona. DJ came in, stepped up, played a hell of a game. It looked bright. Then last season, DJ came in. We still won 10 games, which is good. That's good. Yeah. That's still good football.
It's a solid season.
But he just didn't look comfortable. Even the games beginning of this season, he looked still kind of skittish. But now I think he's comfortable. I think he's going to kick ass. Secondary, I think just defense overall. Because KJ Henry is a badass on defense.
KJ Henry is a monster. I remember him all the way back in high school. Yeah. South Carolina recruited him. I followed his recruitment. He's legit. He's a very good player.
He is. I think our defense is having to get used to as far as just new adjustments as far as the seniors last year, because we've had a badass defense for years now, especially losing Skalski. I think that
the man that specialized in illegal hits
that blew people's heads off, dude.
By targeting.
Yeah, call it what you want, man. They are so tight on targeting now. It's ridiculous.
15-yard penalty.
We'll see.
Ejected from the game.
We'll see.
Every other game.
That's fine. Hey, that's fine. Because we still beat Carolina. That's all that matters, man. All that matters.
At least we don't play illegally. And we never got caught.
Jadeveon Clowney.
He wasn't getting called for targeting every other game.
Okay, but targeting rules were different as far as when Jadeveon Clowney...
He was following the rules.
No, dude, he was still popping people's heads off.
He was following the rules.
Okay. You call it what you want. Jadeveon Clowney was just of a harder hitter than Skalski was. He wanted to hurt people just like you say Skowski wanted to hurt people. Jadeveon Clown, that one Michigan game, dude, literally the biggest clip ever that South Carolina has ever had of him popping that Michigan player. Play that today. Hold up, we are still rolling, I think. Still rolling, yes. Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties. Play that in today's game, targeting, straight up.
I don't know, though.
It was a dirty hit, man.
No, because if you go back and watch the hit, he didn't lower his head. He never lowered his head. He hit him with his face mask. He wrapped him up and hit him with his face mask. And that player, whenever he hit him, he lifted his head up. Clowney's face mask hit him there, under his face mask, and it shot the helmet off.
But that's not even the point that I'm saying is you say Skowski is
because he lowered his head.
He lowers his head, but he's a hard hitter. He wants to get in the person's face. He wants to take their head off. I understand that, but don't act like Carolina hasn't played dirty before.
Not like Skowski. He was in modern college football in the last 5 years. I think he probably got the most targeted calls. Literally, it was like every other game.
He's
you
could
always count on Skowski to go out. He was either missing the first half of a game because he got a target in the last game in the second half, or he was getting ejected in that game for a target. Almost every single week. And he still got great numbers. But he missed a lot of time for being ejected.
He's just... If you're a hard hitter, you can't be a quitter, man. That's what I'm saying. I think as far as the rules now of targeting, and it's just, dude, they don't want people getting hit. I think it's a little excessive on if a dude pops someone, it's a targeting. I mean, dude, you're playing football.
Right? I totally agree. I dislike a lot of the new targeting rules. Like, I don't like the below the waist thing that they're trying to implement this year. But
I literally seen a call. Was it last week? I can't remember.
State game?
Yeah, it was the Iowa State game.
Yeah.
Literally, he hit him in like his stomach, like his chest, and they called it targeting.
About blew his top off.
Dude, it's like they don't even want players getting hit anymore, dude. If you're gonna play football, you're gonna have to take hits.
The only time I really support calling targeting is whenever you can see a player lower his head, you can tell that there's malicious intent. He's going in, aggressively attacking with the crown of his helmet. That is targeting, and it should be called every time. Accidental helmet-to-helmet contact, I don't think it should be targeting. If you're hitting them straight on with your face mask, I don't think it should be targeting.
See, because you can even tell in clips if someone is planning on really fucking someone up, or if they're just trying to hit them, get them down. Accidental targeting is one thing. If you lead with the crown of the helmet,
if you're maliciously trying to hurt someone, you're leading with the crown of your helmet. That should be called every time.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and we're gonna look forward to next week, at least Carolina and Clemson's games. I know Clemson, they've got the big game day matchup.
Yeah.
Night game in Meth Valley.
Man, out of here, dude.
Gonna be big time. All the toothless taters are gonna be screaming. It's gonna be loud.
And we are going to whip ass.
Who do you think Lee Corso's got on game day? Who do you think he's picking?
I hope he doesn't pick Clemson, because every time Lee Corso picks Clemson, we lose.
Not so fast, my friend. Corso's picking Clemson.
Nah, dude. I think overall, if DJ's still in his rhythm, if our secondary gets fixed, if our defense tightens up, I think we got the game in the bag. I'm going to say a score. My prediction of the Clemson game is going to be, let's see, what's some numbers? 35-14.
I disagree with you there. Not so fast, my friend, as the great Coach Corso would say. I think what's coming up in this Clemson game, and this is dependent, right? Because everyone knows we've got the hurricane coming in South Carolina right now. But if the weather conditions are right, the wind's not too crazy, it's not raining, they can put the ball in the air. If NC State's able to throw it over the top of you, you're going to have a dogfight. It's going to be bad. It's going to go down to the fourth quarter. And I think NC State will beat you. And it will be the first of 2 losses Clemson will have this year.
Yeah, 2 losses, man. Really?
Yep.
You think 2 losses? Who
I'm
think's
not
gonna beat us?
Well, we'll talk about that in the second loss. We'll talk about
Because
that
if I'm
later
not
show.
if I'm not mistaken, you said Wake Forest was gonna beat us, and that was.
Now,
one
I
of
said
our
I thought
2
they had a
losses.
chance of beating you, but I didn't say that was going to be your 2 losses.
Okay.
There's somebody later in your schedule, but they're an ACC team.
Personally, as a Clemson fan, of course, I think we got NC State in the bag. Tighten up the defense. DJ stays in his rhythm. Will Shipley runs all over their ass. Clemson's got it in the bag, dude.
My score prediction: Clemson, 31. DJ with a late, costly interception gives NC State the ball. 1 minute, 2 minute offense. They go down the field, score. Final score: 35-31. NC State.
Well, you heard that here, folks. 35-14, 31-35. Well,
We'll go ahead and look at the South Carolina game next week, which I will actually be attending. I will be going up for the road trip to Lexington, Kentucky, going up there with all them hillbillies, playing their banjos.
Kentucky is whipping that ass, man.
I think Kentucky is really overrated. I do think Kentucky is really. I do not think they're the number 7 team in the country.
Carolina doesn't have a chance, man. I'm sorry.
It'll be interesting to see how they do this Saturday against Ole Miss. It'll show you a lot more about who Kentucky is as a football team. I think South Carolina has a chance in the game if they are able to. You have to be able to hang around because you're not going to be leading. But if you can hang around with them until the fourth quarter, you can make some magic happen. You can get some fluky stuff to go your way. You've got Beamer ball. You got in the Georgia State game, the first game, you blocked 2 punts. You have to have some special teams plays go your way. You have to have a defensive score. You have to have some turnovers. You have to win the turnover margin. The main thing is you just have to hang around with Kentucky. You're not going to outright dominate them throughout the game. But if you can have it going into the fourth quarter, 21-17 game, 17-10 game,
I don't think you'll hang around till the fourth quarter. Your offense is too weak, man.
Oh, they are.
Offense is too weak. I just personally, my opinion, the offense is too weak. Kentucky's defense, I'm not going to completely disagree with you and say that just overall Kentucky is overrated, but overrated or not, I do not think your offense will be able to withstand the defense.
I actually kind of agree with you. I'm not picking South Carolina to win this game. I think they're going to have a better showing than a lot of people think they are. I think Kentucky is going to have their heads swelled a lot more. And they're going to come in and they're going to think it's going to be easy. And they're going to get punched in the mouth early. Rattler's not going to have to do anything too special. I think they're going to limit to swing passes, slants, screens. It's going to be a lot put on the back of Marshawn Lloyd. He's going to run the ball a lot of counter plays. I think my final score prediction for the game is going to be 28-10. 28-17, somewhere around there.
I'm taking 28-7. That's my final score prediction of.
But I do think South Carolina, I'm not counting them out. I think they can pull the upset. Some things just have to go their way. Things that you can't count on to go your way. Enough for me to be confident enough to pick them. But I do think it's possible, and I will be there in person watching us play the Wildcats up in Kentucky.
Well, folks, I think that does it for this podcast.
Yeah, I think that
you heard our rival opinions. Fuck South Carolina.
Man, nobody likes the Taters.
Overall, we just, when it comes to football, we hate each other. So, but overall, besides our teams, I think we agree on a lot as far as just the top 25. I think they're all overrated, if I'm being honest. I think all the upsets of last week really shows through how the top 25 is this year.
There's going to be a lot of upsets this year. A lot.
I can tell, man.
All right. Well, I think that's going to conclude the show.
Go the hell to sleep if you're watching this at night. Wake the hell up if you're watching in the morning. And
Go Cox.
Go Tigers. Fuck Gamecocks.
Fuck Tigers.